Hello, friends. Hi. I'm cold. It is hot here in Missouri today, but for some reason, my office is in our basement. Like I have this beautiful walkout window, but I get freaking cold down here. So that is that. So I had to put my big fluffy sweater back on. Hi. Hello, Tiffany. Um, You guys, so here we are, another training, and I'm excited. So last week, I feel like I was kind of all over the place, mainly because it was our first training. So for those of you who are new, I am Jamie Thurber. I am a expert in some things like project management, like planning and productivity, but also in creating a lifestyle and business that mesh together so that you can actually enjoy life and reap the benefits of the work that you're doing. I like to refer to the work that I do as intentional living, as helping people create things that they enjoy. Um, that's the whole idea, is that I work with people to build their businesses and lives intentionally to where it fits into what it is that they actually desire. So I am here weekly to chat with you, and there's a library of videos if you're interested on our YouTube channel of various topics, everything from mindset to fitness to relationships to business to management to all of the things. Nothing is off the table as far as topics go. So if you're watching and you have any questions for me ever, please feel free to comment them in the comments here. And we would be happy. I will be happy to always answer. And if you like the video, please give it a thumbs up and make sure that you hit the little bell wherever it is to subscribe to our channel as well. So I'll go ahead and get started. I have been doing these trainings privately in a coaching group for a long time, and so I'm not used to remembering the fact that, hi, if you click this video, you want to know, hey, who are you and why in the hell should I listen to you? So that is part of why I wanted to give that quick little spiel for you. Excuse me. So this morning, I was my first full day back in my office. I was gone at a conference early this week here in St. Louis. I live in St. Louis, Missouri. For those of you who don't know, and there was a women in business conference downtown. Very, very cool event. But I was there Saturday through Wednesday. I went Saturday night and I got back yesterday morning and then whatever. So anyway, of course, the reason I attend events like that, and I pick them pretty strategically by people that I know I can really trust, is that, hello, Kara, is that I want to make sure that I'm getting information that's not going to bog me down, but instead lift me up and be inspiring, but also like break my mind into a place that it needs to be to continue to grow. And what's funny for me, it's like I want to grow and expand, but I also want to deepen and get really deep and grounded at the same time always. Like that's the constant goal for me, is to be like putting roots even deeper and deeper and sturdier at the same time that I'm growing and expanding in all of the ways that I could possibly want to do that. That's definitely always the underlining theme, I think, of everything that I'm doing. So something kind of came to mind. A lot of things actually obviously came to mind when I was there. There were 75 women in this conference, and it was pretty fucking awesome, honestly. But one of the things this morning that I've been kind of like reeling around in and just thinking is the title of this video is, if it's not broke, don't fix it. Right. But like, when does that make sense? And when does that keep you complacent? So here's what I mean by that. What if you're sitting here thinking, oh, if it's not broke, don't fix it, so you just don't pay attention to some of the pieces of your life or your business, the way that you do things, it would be the same thing along the lines of like if you were eating a certain way and you were feeling like shit always, or you were gaining a bunch of weight and you just didn't ever stop and look at, hey, maybe I could do something differently. We never thought of that, right? Like maybe that go along those kind of lines. We don't think of these things. My desk is like, and so it got my brain thinking. And so I've been I've been in business full time, 100% for myself, no other job, but my business for about 7 years now. And for most of that time, I've worked in and out of so many different systems because a lot of my clients work in different programs, and I don't ever want to reinvent their wheel, right? Like if it works for you, cool, and I will make it work for you, right? Um, that's not a problem. But I've had the pleasure of being able to see a lot of the ins and outs and behind the curtains of ways different programs work. Well, when I first started my company, I picked the one that I liked the best, right? So I use Asana inside of my team and inside of my company. And this morning, it made me realize like I needed to share this with you guys, and just hopefully my goal always is to offer some sort of perspective shift, or maybe ask, inspire you to think about something a little bit differently. But I was thinking, like, do I dislike Asana? No, not at all. Like, it's not broken, right? Like, it's not something that I need to fix. But then I started thinking, but is it the right fit for me still? And you see, if you don't go and allow yourself spaces to think about things, now I don't believe that you need to be sporadic about making changes all the time. Like, that's not the answer at all either. Like, you got to give things a chance to work in order for you to actually find something that works. That's where most people are like, this diet didn't work, or this exercise plan didn't work. I mean, you didn't even freaking give it a chance. Like, this morning routine didn't work. It's like you did it 3 times, dude. Like, that's not how it works, right? So for me, in this instance, it's like, okay, 7 years, right? 7 years I've been utilizing Asana for my project management. And so I started looking around thinking, well, maybe I need to just play around with the idea of seeing what else there is out there that might be a better fit. Because there are parts of the program that I don't love. There are parts that feel very wonky to me. And so it's the question of, is it broke and I can fix it? Which means, is there maybe pieces? Now stick with me. I'm not just talking about project management stuff. So just stick with me. I'm going to bring this full circle in just a second. Are there parts of this system that I'm just not utilizing, that I'm just not tapping into, that I need to tap into to make those few things I don't love better? Or, is there something better that I could be using that would fit me more, that would be, reduce time, like any of those things? But you see, what happens is sometimes when we hear that statement, or we think, oh, it's not broken, so I'm just going to keep going and going and going. Sometimes that can cause us to be complacent. Does that make sense? Like, we never look for a better thing, or we never even think about it. And so, I think there's a place to find a healthy balance between, and this is what we do with ourselves as well. So if I'm not happy with the way I'm feeling every day, or the way my relationship is every day, if I don't stop every once in a while and say, wait a minute, could I add some excitement back in here? Could I, ask for something that I'm desiring that I haven't asked for? Could I express the way I feel, or change up the way I'm eating? Or maybe we go for a date night, or maybe we make a movie night, like whatever. If you're not constantly kind of regrouping in a way, you do become complacent, and you're going to keep getting the same result over and over again. And I think what ends up happening is, again, like, so that statement is, if it's not broke, don't fix it. It's like we've come into this place where if it's broken, then gosh, like, something has to be broken in order for us to increase the productivity of it, or the value of it, or the way that it helps ourselves, our businesses, our bodies, our minds, our relationships, everything. Like, it's got to be to a place of being broken in order for us to then look at it and potentially enhance the depth and the growth, right? So in my mind, it's like, okay, well, what if you never have anybody challenging your thoughts like this, right? Like, what if you never are having these conversations where, like I am with these people and these conferences, or my coaches, or whatever, where I'm thinking, wait a minute, why am I still doing it that way? It was the same concept when I closed my coaching group. It was like, it was not bringing me much joy. It was not in alignment with what I really wanted to do. And it was keeping me complacent. It was keeping me in a place that wasn't allowing. Here you are, we have these, this way with, as a human, where we're like, oh my gosh, I want more, I want this, or why don't I have this, and I need to do all of these new things. But sometimes we try to add a bunch of new things without putting any emphasis on it, or paying any attention to the things that are currently exist. And maybe it's that we need to get rid of something, or change something completely, to bring back whatever that thing is we're worried about missing, that we think we need to get something new for. Does that make sense? So what we want to do is just be constantly curious. You're going to see that as a theme anytime you're watching a lot of my videos, is like, I believe the reason I've been able to build this life that, like, honestly, I didn't even know was a thing. I was recently talking with a family member that is at an age that a lot of people in America are told that you need to figure out what it is that you want to do with your life. And I remember that, age, and it's like your late teens, right? 17, 18, 19, like, you better figure out what you want to do with your life. Like, some kids, they know they want to be a doctor. They know they want to be a lawyer. They know they want to be a veterinarian, like whatever it is, like have this specific thing. That wasn't my deal. Like, that's not what happened for me. I didn't know exactly what I wanted to do. I knew I wanted to travel and have fun and enjoy my life. I knew that I wanted to not listen to anybody else's rules. Like, those were the things that I knew. And so I just kind of went with the flow, and I did end up picking something completely based off of, honestly, a relationship that I was in. I had thought, oh, we're going to get married. I'm going to run this business for the rest of my life, because he had a business I was helping run. And so my choice was business management, right? Small business management, accounting, payroll, all that jazz. I learned all of that in college. That was why I picked it, right? Well, granted, of course, like, life doesn't happen the way you think it is. That guy and I didn't last very much longer. I don't even think, pretty sure we broke up before I was even out of college. And I went on to take a couple like random jobs. I ended up working as an insurance adjuster for a long time, for a third party administrator, where we handled property damage claims. And at the time I was like, you know what, I'm going to make a career out of this, right? I can make a career out of this. I'm using this knowledge. I'm super good at it. Cool. It's fun. It's interesting. Super duper stressful. Then I get the other opportunity, right? And I'm going to go to the body shop. I'm going to run the body shop. We're going to build this business and build this body shop into all of these places. And we're going to, expand and deepen and strengthen. And we did in the time that I was there. And in my mind at the time, I would have swore to you that I was a lifer, that I would have been there forever, that would have been the place that I would have stayed, right? Until it wasn't anymore, until the choice was to leave. And like, some shit went down and it just wasn't the right fit anymore, right? It was like ethically, it wasn't the right fit for me anymore. And also at the time I didn't realize it, but also like lifestyle wise, it wasn't right for me anymore. And so that led me into the space of like doing some contract work for different people, being misplaced as far as going in with my however many years of operations management experience, going into interview for that, and then being told, oh, you can be our receptionist, because of course in a male dominated industry, like, unfortunately that's still a thing. And it's like, dude, I was literally running a multi-million-dollar friggin' company in the same industry, and you want me to be a receptionist? Like, what the fuck, right? And so I went out on my own way and tried to figure something else out. And that's when I hired a coach, and the rest is history as far as where my business has gone and what I'm doing now. But all of that to say that if you would have asked me, what did I want my life to look like, or what I thought I would be doing, this wasn't it. I didn't even know this was a thing. But the reason that I've been able to build it, and the reason I've been able to sustain it as long as I have, is because of these moments where I get curious, where I'm like, well, that doesn't feel right. I don't want to do it that way. Even though 75 people told me I should, that is against what I believe in. That is against what feels good to me and what works for me and what I want to do. So instead, I'm going to do it in a way that feels good to me, right? I'm going to do it in a way that makes sense. Because there's a lot of the way I operate as a brand, as a influencer, as a business owner, as a coach. Like, there's a lot of old school mentality, like business shit that comes into practice. But then there's also a lot of like, hi, I'm a human and so are you. And like, that should really be involved in the way that we operate our companies and the way we show up and interact with other humans. So at the end of the day, some of the sales tactics and the like, how to become a millionaire in 5 minutes bullshit on the internet did not align. It still doesn't align. It makes me want to throw up sometimes. I'm just like, ooh, gross. God, I hope no one's listening to this. But it didn't fit me, right? And so what I could have done was put aside things that mattered to me and been complacent with the path that was lined out for whatever reason, right? And so all of that to say that if I wasn't curious, if I wasn't constantly being like, but wait a minute, I don't have to do it that way. What if I trusted myself enough? What if I knew, come here, Bonnie. Bonnie, come here. Bonnie, come here, ma'am. So I think Bonnie's depressed. We're going to have a little introduction. Come here. So Mia, my puppy, was super sick she had like an infection for a while. So she was being kind of needy. And so I feel like while Mia was being needy, Bonnie was feeling neglected. What's that sound? Just had an airplane outside. And so she's been acting very weird and depressed. And it's really funny. So this is Bonnie. She's our oldest pup. And she's like the queen of all the land. She is my heart and soul, literally. Like don't know that I could exist without her. Huh, sweet girl. Say hi. Sometimes she just comes in here and looks around and makes sure everyone's okay. Did that airplane just scare you, or are you just being dramatic? Okay, I love you. So I didn't want her to walk out of the room without getting some attention and some love because, like I said, I think she's feeling depressed. Life of a dog mom. Hi, Mama. You okay? You okay, baby? Okay. So back to what I was saying. I think that if you're not constantly being curious and questioning things, that is, like I said, and that doesn't mean that you're sporadic all over the place, because that's a different problem. But I think if you're not questioning things in a way that's healthy, in a way that challenges yourself, in a way that's like, wait, is this the best fit? Like, is this helping me? I've given it a chance. There are these other parts, like what makes the most sense? Then I think, yeah, no. The other problem is the puppy like tries to strong arm Bonnie into playing with her, and Bonnie is not about it. So anyways, if we're not constantly doing that, then how do we not stay complacent? Like, think about that, right? And so I feel like most of the people who listen to this channel and that tune into anything that I create, my podcast or blog posts or anything, are typically looking for something more. They're typically looking for permission, or like, hi, look, I'm not an island. Like, I'm not the only one who thinks this way. Holy shit. Or they're looking for something, some nugget that that can spark something in them for them to expand and grow and change and, whatever it is. And so I feel like when I'm saying this, does that represent every single person? No. Like, in the world, no, some people like to stay, in a steady. They don't want to have that expansion in those ways. And that is their prerogative, right? There's nothing wrong with that. But what I'm getting at is that most of the people who are listening to my shit, that is not you. So mainly, I wanted to take time and explain that and go into detail of the fact that, it's not always like, oh, it's not, it's broken, so now I have to fix it. Like, that mentality is really shitty. Think about that. So if you waited until your car was broken every time before you changed the oil, how long do you think that car is going to last you? And how much more money is it going to cost you to repair that car every single time? It's the same freaking concept, and we can apply this in every area of our lives. I tell people all the time, mindset work is maintenance work. It's like rotating your fucking tires. It's like making sure there's air in your tires, right? Eating properly is like flushing your system. Sleeping enough is charging your batteries. Like, I could give you a million car references because that's how my brain works. But like, the maintenance that you would do on your vehicle is the maintenance that you do in your life and in your business that allows you to maintain something stable and strong and completely sustainable. And that's ultimately my goal always for any human that I talk to. Is it's like, hey man, I'm never going to tell you that something is not okay, or meaning something's not right for you, or you shouldn't do this, or I will never tell you what to do. What I will always encourage people to do is, like, if you can't create sustainability, then it's never going to work. That's why like fad diets don't work. That's why like super crazy elimination things don't work. It's because it's not fucking sustainable. It's not. And so it's like, there are so many things we can do to be sustainable. Bonnie, you're so silly. She's just rolling around. It's like, she's like, who's the queen here? Anyway, so yeah, there's so many things that we can do to create something more sustainable, but instead, a lot of times the sustainable thing is not the sexiest thing, right? It's not the like most shiny penny object in the room, or at least so we're told it's not. Like, says fucking who, right? That's the other thing. T-shirts coming. Say says fucking who. Nobody steal my idea. Trademarked. I have an attorney. I'm just kidding. No, I'm not kidding. I do. But you see what I'm saying? So like, says who, is that the way it has to be? And so that's just really, I think, the message I'm trying to get across here, and I hope that it's sinking in, is really just the thought process that if we can create the ability, hey, what are you eating? No. The ability to stay curious, like, that's important. That's exactly what will always keep you, it keeps you present with what's happening in your life and not just going through the motions. That's it right there. The more present we can be, the more fulfilling our life is. When we're just going through the motion, time passes and we feel nothing. We feel unfulfilled, that's for sure. We feel unsatisfied. We feel insecure and uncertain when we're just going through the motions and not being active participants in our thought processes and our choices throughout the day. That's a huge difference. It's a huge game changer. So anybody who's live have any questions, pop them in the chat right now. Anybody who's watching the replay and anything comes to mind, I would love for you to share it, as well as your favorite part. If there was a nugget that stuck out for you during this conversation, pop it in the comments below. I'd love to see it. The more that you share with me while we're doing these sessions together, the more I'm going to be able to really tailor this to the people that are watching. So that really, truly helps. So give it a minute. I'll take a big drink here. See if I had surgery. I think I told you guys this last week. I had surgery in my mouth, and I still have stitches. I have to get them out next Monday. But shit, like, they just, it's so sensitive. Doesn't feel good. But anyways. Okay, I don't think we have any questions. So I'm going to pop off of here. But as always, you guys, thank you for being here. If you enjoyed the video, please make sure you give it a thumbs up. That helps us get this message in front of more people. And if you think or know anyone who could benefit from this message or find it helpful, hit that little share button over and provide them with this content as well. What a good gift to give some, hey, this is really nice. This might work for you. And like I said, those references are not the references, but the nugget moments, if you can share them below, that would be beautiful. I appreciate you. Go out into the world and do good things. Kara, no questions, so good. Thank you. I love the car references. The body really is a machine. Absolutely. Absolutely. It requires maintenance. Everything does. Just like your computer, like everything requires maintenance. Your ice maker, your refrigerator, like, and especially as a human, like, we're not fucking robots. So even if we were robots, we would require maintenance. Like, it's how it works. So anyways, guys, go out into the world, do good things. Until next time, I'm Jamie Thurber, and I will see you later. Bye.